Welcome back to the Deep Dive. Today, we're going to be exploring a book with a pretty unique premise.
Okay.
It's called Career Wisdom from Ancient Times, Joseph's Blueprint by Ephraim Unuigbe.
Interesting.
It's a career advice book that uses the biblical story of Joseph as like a framework.
Ah, okay.
Now, you might be wondering, what can a slave who became a prime minister teach us about navigating
Right.
the modern workplace?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. What
Right.
could that possibly have to do with today?
Yeah.
That's what makes this book so fascinating, though. It takes a story that's thousands of years old and extracts these timeless principles that are surprisingly relevant to our careers today.
Right, and it's not just some theoretical approach.
Yeah.
Ephraim Unuigbe is a seasoned finance professional himself,
Okay.
so he's drawing on his own real-world experience as well.
That makes sense.
We're going to take a deep dive into the 7 key principles he outlines in the book,
Okay. Sounds good.
starting with the power of vision.
Okay.
So the book kicks off by highlighting Joseph's dreams in Genesis 37.5, 7, and 9. He had these incredibly vivid dreams of leadership, but they seemed impossible at the time.
Right.
He was just a young shepherd after all.
That's true.
It's kind of like when Steve Jobs envisioned putting computers in everyone's pockets.
Yeah.
Back when computers were these giant clunky machines.
Totally. Or Elon Musk with his vision of electric vehicles and space travel.
Right.
Like, these ideas seemed totally outlandish at the time, but they were driven by
A powerful vision.
a powerful vision.
Yeah.
Exactly. And the book argues that having that clear vision, no matter how audacious it may seem,
Yeah.
it helps you overcome obstacles and stay focused on your long-term goals.
Right.
You know, Joseph faced betrayal, slavery, imprisonment.
Right.
Yet he never lost sight of that bigger picture. His vision fueled his resilience.
So how does the book suggest we actually discover our vision?
Right.
It's not like we all have prophetic dreams.
Right. Well, it actually touches on two main pathways.
Okay.
One is what the book calls divine revelation.
Oh, okay. So that could be trusting your intuition, that inner knowing, or maybe like a spiritual connection that guides you.
Exactly. The other path is identifying your vision through your own personal desires and experiences.
Right.
What are you naturally drawn to?
Yep.
What are you passionate about? What are your talents?
Right.
These can all be clues to your own unique vision.
It's about connecting the dots between what you love, what you're good at, and what the world needs.
Right.
Yeah.
But the book also cautions against blindly sharing your vision with everyone.
Right.
Remember what happened when Joseph told his brothers about his dreams?
Yeah. Talk about a family drama.
Right. It did
Yeah.
not go well at all.
Not at all.
The book's advice is to be strategic about who you share your dreams with.
Okay.
Consider the potential consequences and really examine your motives for sharing.
Okay.
Is it for validation?
Okay.
Or is it to find collaborators and supporters who can help you make that vision a reality?
That makes a lot of sense.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it's better to keep your cards close to your chest until you've developed your vision further or found the right people to share it with.
Exactly. The second principle the book dives into is going above and beyond.
Oh.
And we see this throughout Joseph's story, whether he was working in Potiphar's house,
Okay.
managing things in prison, or interpreting Pharaoh's dreams.
Right.
He consistently exceeded expectations.
Yeah.
And that played a huge role in his rise to leadership.
He wasn't just punching the clock. He was really committed to excellence in everything he did.
Absolutely. And the book provides some really practical advice on how we can adopt that same mindset.
Okay.
It starts with embracing initiative.
Okay.
You know, don't wait to be told what to do. Proactively seek ways to contribute and add value.
So be a self-starter.
Yes,
Anticipate needs and take ownership of your tasks.
absolutely. It also talks about understanding your manager's concerns.
Yeah, okay.
What are their priorities? What keeps them up at night? If you can figure that out and find ways to alleviate their stress, you'll become an invaluable asset.
It's about being a problem solver and a strategic thinker.
And of course, the book emphasizes going the extra mile.
Right.
Don't just meet the bare minimum requirements.
Right.
Aim to exceed expectations in everything you do. Pay attention to detail, deliver high-quality work, and just strive for excellence.
It's about developing a reputation for being someone who always goes above and beyond.
And I think it's interesting how the book ties this principle to having a strong spiritual connection.
Oh, wow.
It references Colossians 3.23 and suggests that approaching our work as a form of worship or service to something greater can elevate our efforts and imbue them with a deeper sense of meaning.
That's a really powerful perspective shift. It's not just about collecting a paycheck. It's about contributing something valuable to the world,
Right.
which leads us to the next principle, the importance of integrity.
Okay.
And this is where Joseph's story really shines.
Yeah.
Remember when he resisted Potiphar's wife's advances?
Yeah.
He could have easily given in.
Right.
But he held strong to his values.
Yeah.
Even though it meant facing some pretty serious consequences.
That's a powerful example of integrity in action.
Yeah.
The book emphasizes that integrity isn't just about avoiding bad behavior.
Okay.
It's about actively choosing to do what's right,
Yeah.
even when it's difficult or inconvenient.
Right. The book shares a pretty stark anecdote about a couple who were offered a bribe.
Yeah.
They were struggling financially,
Oh.
and the temptation was huge.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Right.
That story really highlights the internal conflict we can face when our values are tested.
Absolutely.
It would have been easy for that couple to justify accepting the bribe,
Right.
but they ultimately chose to do what they believed was right, even though it meant missing out on a big financial windfall.
It's a reminder that our choices have consequences, and sometimes the right choice isn't the easiest one. The book argues that true success is built on a foundation of integrity, and the long-term rewards of staying true to your principles far outweigh any short-term gains from compromising them.
It's about building a reputation for trustworthiness and earning respect, even if it means making some tough choices.
Yeah. The book shares another inspiring story about a woman who lost her job for refusing to participate in a shady business deal.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, she was taking a stand.
What happened to her?
Well, she was devastated at first, of course.
Yeah.
But because she had a reputation for honesty and integrity,
Right.
she was quickly snapped up by another company that valued those qualities.
Interesting.
They saw her refusal to compromise as a strength, not a weakness.
That's great.
It's like that saying, character is who you are when no one is watching.
That's a good one.
Even in prison, Joseph's integrity was evident.
Right?
And it was that very quality that ultimately caught Pharaoh's attention and led to his rise to power.
Yeah.
Doing the right thing, even when it's hard, can set the stage for extraordinary outcomes.
Absolutely. And that brings us to the next principle, building the right network.
Okay.
Joseph was a master networker. He built relationships with people from all walks of life, Potiphar,
Right.
the prison staff, the cupbearer, even Pharaoh himself. And ultimately, he reconciled with his own brothers, showing the long-term value of those connections.
He really understood the power of building relationships and nurturing those connections.
And the book introduces this concept called 360-degree networking,
Okay.
which emphasizes the importance of building relationships at all levels.
So it's not just about schmoozing with the VIPs.
Right.
It's about connecting with people from all walks of life.
Exactly.
Treating everyone with respect and building genuine relationships.
Exactly. Think about the tactics Joseph used. He was compassionate and empathetic,
Right.
which helped him earn people's trust.
Yeah.
He was a skilled problem solver,
Okay.
which made him valuable, and he was a strategic communicator,
Okay.
able to clearly convey his ideas and build rapport.
So let's break down those tactics a bit. Compassion and empathy. Those are about understanding people's struggles, listening attentively, and offering support when needed.
Right. It's about building genuine connections and showing that you care about others.
And then there's problem solving.
Right.
Being the person who can offer helpful solutions or connect people with resources they need.
Exactly. And strategic communication, that's about being clear and concise in your communication, knowing how to present yourself effectively, and tailoring your message to your audience.
Joseph's story provides a great example of how to put these principles into practice.
Right.
Now on to adaptability.
Okay.
And this one is so crucial in today's fast-paced, ever-changing world.
It is.
I mean, Joseph's life was a roller coaster. He went from favored son to slave, thrived in Egypt,
Right.
landed in prison,
Oh my gosh.
and then rose to become a leader. Talk about having to adapt.
His story is like a masterclass in resilience and adaptability.
Yeah.
The book argues that these skills are non-negotiable in today's world.
Right.
Things change so rapidly.
Right.
Industries evolve, and you never know what unexpected challenges might arise. Being able to adapt and bounce back from setbacks is just essential for success.
So how does the book suggest we deal with those inevitable curveballs life throws at us?
Well, it offers a 4-step approach for dealing with misfortunes.
Okay.
Okay, first, acknowledge your feelings.
Oh, okay.
Don't try to bury them or pretend they're not there.
Right.
It's okay to feel disappointed, frustrated, or even angry when things don't go your way.
It's about allowing yourself to process those emotions so you can move forward.
Exactly. The second step is to shift your perspective.
Okay.
trying to find the lessons or potential opportunities hidden within the challenge.
Oh, so look for that silver lining, that aha moment that can help you grow from the experience.
Precisely. The third step is to take action. Seek support from your network, engage in self-care to recharge your batteries, and just set small, achievable goals to regain momentum.
It's about taking those small steps forward,
Yes.
even when you don't feel like it.
And finally, practice gratitude.
Oh,
Even amidst setbacks, there's always something to be thankful for. Focusing on what you have rather than what you've lost can help shift your energy and perspective.
that's a really powerful framework for dealing with adversity.
Right.
And I love how the book also delves into imposter syndrome,
Oh, yeah.
which is something so many of us struggle with.
Absolutely.
That feeling of not being good enough,
Yeah.
even when we have evidence to the contrary.
It's incredibly common, especially when we're stepping outside of our comfort zones or
Yeah.
taking on new challenges.
Right?
You know, the book suggests that Joseph might have even experienced imposter syndrome when he was suddenly thrust into a leadership position.
Yeah, it's easy to imagine him feeling overwhelmed and doubting his abilities,
Right.
despite his obvious talents.
The book offers some great tips for overcoming that self-doubt.
Okay.
First, challenge those negative thoughts. Ask yourself if they're really true
Okay.
or if they're just fear talking.
Okay.
Focus on your strengths and accomplishments and remind yourself of your past successes. And seek feedback from people you trust to gain a more objective perspective.
Those are great reminders.
Mm.
Now, the book doesn't just focus on dealing with setbacks. It also discusses how to manage success,
Oh, that's good.
which can be its own challenge.
You're absolutely right. Success can bring a whole new set of pressures and expectations.
Right.
The book advises celebrating your achievements, of course.
Yeah.
But also staying grounded and not letting success go to your head.
So remembering where you came from,
Yes.
staying humble,
Oh.
and maintaining a sense of perspective.
Exactly. And the book also emphasizes the importance of continuous learning.
Right.
Never become complacent. Always strive to grow, evolve, and expand your skill set.
It's about having a growth mindset and seeing every experience as an opportunity to learn and improve. I'm curious about the author's personal definition of success.
That's one of my favorite parts of the book. He defines success as personal growth,
Okay.
having a positive impact on the world,
Okay.
and achieving work-life balance.
Oh, wow.
It's a very holistic view that goes beyond just climbing the corporate ladder or accumulating wealth.
It's about living a fulfilling and meaningful life,
Exactly.
both inside and outside of work.
Precisely. And that leads perfectly into our next principle, professionalism.
Okay.
I love how the book zooms in on this specific detail. Joseph shaving and changing clothes before meeting Pharaoh, even though he was a prisoner.
That's such a great detail. What a powerful example of situational awareness and understanding the importance of first impressions.
It's a timeless lesson in adapting to your circumstances and presenting yourself professionally.
Right.
No matter the situation, you never know what opportunities might arise, so always put your best foot forward.
It's about showing up as your best self, ready to make a positive impression.
And the book expands on this by offering some really solid advice on professional conduct.
Good.
It covers appearance, attitude, competence, ethics, and integrity.
Okay, so basically the whole package.
Exactly. It's about being knowledgeable, skilled, ethical, and just presenting yourself in a way that inspires confidence and trust.
The book connects this back to Joseph,
Yeah.
emphasizing how his competence and integrity shone through in every role he held,
Right.
even as a slave and a prisoner.
And that undoubtedly played a huge part in his eventual rise to leadership.
It did.
Now, the book doesn't just cover those soft skills. It also delves into more practical areas like communication,
Okay.
time management,
Okay.
and reliability.
So it gets into the nitty-gritty of what it takes to be successful in the workplace.
It tries to make those concepts relatable and actionable. It also touches on the idea of personal branding,
Okay.
which is so important in today's world.
All right. It's about being intentional about how you present yourself,
Yeah.
both online and offline.
Exactly.
You know, what's your story?
Right.
What are your values? What makes you unique?
And how can you leverage those qualities to build a personal brand that aligns with your career aspirations?
That's such a great point. We're not just cogs in a machine. We're individuals with unique talents and perspectives. And developing a strong personal brand can help us stand out and achieve our goals.
Absolutely. And that brings us to our final principle for today, overcoming setbacks. Now, let's be real. Joseph's life was full of them.
Right.
Family rivalry, betrayal, false accusations, imprisonment. He faced it all.
Yeah, the book emphasizes that setbacks are an inevitable part of life.
Absolutely.
No one's journey is a straight line to success.
The key is how we respond to those setbacks.
Right.
Do we let them define us and hold us back?
Right.
Or do we use them as opportunities to learn, grow, and become more resilient?
Joseph's story is a powerful reminder that even in the midst of adversity, there's a reason to keep pushing forward.
The book highlights the importance of trusting in a higher plan,
Right.
whether that's a spiritual belief, a deep-seated optimism, or simply a conviction that things will eventually work out.
Just like Joseph maintained his faith in God,
Yes.
even when things seemed the bleakest.
Absolutely.
We can find strength in our own beliefs and values to help us through those tough times.
It's about finding that inner source of strength and resilience that allows us to weather the storms and emerge stronger on the other side.
This is a great place to stop for now. We'll pick up next time with more from career wisdom from ancient times.
Sounds good. See you then.
All right, see ya. Welcome back to the Deep Dive. We're continuing our exploration of career wisdom from ancient times, Joseph's blueprint.
Okay.
Last time, we left off talking about the importance of overcoming setbacks.
Right.
And, Joseph's story is just such a powerful testament to resilience
It is.
and the power of trusting in a higher plan, even when things look really bleak.
Absolutely. And the book encourages us to actually find meaning in those challenges.
Yeah.
Setbacks aren't just obstacles.
Right.
They're opportunities for growth and learning.
It's about reframing those difficult experiences and asking yourself, what can I learn from this?
Yeah.
How can I use this to become stronger and wiser?
Exactly. And let's not forget the importance of forgiveness.
Oh, right.
As a crucial part of overcoming setbacks, the book highlights that incredible moment when Joseph forgives his brothers.
Right.
Think about the depth of betrayal he experienced.
Oh, yeah.
Being sold into slavery by his own family.
That's a wound that could easily fester and poison someone's entire outlook on life.
Absolutely. But Joseph chose a different path. He chose forgiveness.
Oh, yeah.
And that act of forgiveness wasn't just about releasing his brothers from guilt.
Okay.
It was also about freeing himself from the burden of carrying that anger and resentment.
It's a reminder that forgiveness isn't about condoning the wrong that was done.
Right.
It's about choosing to let go of the pain and negativity.
Yeah.
So you can move forward with a lighter heart.
And that leads us to the final principle the book explores, trusting that there's a purpose to our struggles.
Okay.
Joseph could have easily become bitter and cynical after all he endured,
Right.
but he maintained this really inspiring faith that there was a reason for his journey,
Yeah.
that his experiences were shaping him for something greater. And ultimately, that belief was validated. His hardships prepared him for leadership and equipped him to save countless lives during the famine.
The book encourages us to adopt a similar mindset. Even when we don't understand why we're going through something difficult,
Right.
we can trust that there's a purpose to our struggles,
Right.
that they're shaping us for something meaningful.
It's about having that long-term perspective and trusting that the dots will eventually connect, even if we can't see the full picture right now.
Exactly. Now, as we wrap up our deep dive into career wisdom from ancient times, I want to leave you with this question.
Okay.
What seemingly impossible dream or vision do you have for your career?
That one that might feel a bit audacious, maybe even a little crazy.
Don't be afraid to think big. What's that one thing that if you achieved it would make you say, wow, I did it. I made that happen.
What's that dream that lights you up and makes you feel truly alive?
And here's the key. What's the very first step, no matter how small, that you can take today to start moving toward that dream? Because even Joseph's incredible journey from slave to prime minister began with a single step, a single act of faith.
So keep diving deep, keep learning, and keep reaching for those seemingly impossible dreams.
Who knows, maybe one day you'll be sharing your own story of overcoming adversity and achieving the extraordinary abolition. It's been a pleasure diving into this book with you. Thanks for joining us.
Welcome back to the Deep Dive. We're wrapping up our exploration of career wisdom from ancient times, Joseph's blueprint, and wow,
It's been a journey.
it has. This ancient story
Yeah.
has been packed with some surprisingly relevant insights for navigating our modern careers.
It's really amazing how these principles, drawn from a story that's thousands of years old,
Right.
still resonate so strongly today.
It does.
It speaks to that enduring power of timeless wisdom.
Absolutely. And I think one of the key takeaways here is that success isn't just about climbing the corporate ladder or achieving some external measure of accomplishment.
Right.
It's about really becoming the best version of ourselves,
Yeah.
professionally and personally.
It's about developing character and resilience
Right.
and just a deep sense of purpose.
Right.
It's about aligning our actions with our values and striving to make a positive impact on the world.
I love how the book emphasizes the importance of having a vision,
Right.
no matter how audacious it might seem.
Yeah.
It reminds me of that quote, "Shoot for the moon. Even if you miss, you'll land among the stars."
That's a good one.
Right.
It's about having that bold ambition and allowing ourselves to dream big.
Yeah.
Joseph's story shows us that what might seem impossible today could become a reality tomorrow,
Yeah.
as long as we maintain our focus and just keep moving forward.
And it's not just about having that grand vision. It's about taking those small, consistent steps each day to make it happen.
Yeah.
Even if it's just one small action. Over time, those actions add up and create momentum.
Absolutely. The book also highlights the importance of going above and beyond in everything we do.
Yeah.
It's not about just meeting the bare minimum.
Right.
It's about striving for excellence and exceeding expectations.
And it's not just about impressing our bosses or getting ahead. It's about developing a strong work ethic and taking pride in our craft.
Yeah, it's about approaching our work with a sense of purpose and just contributing something valuable to the world.
Speaking of valuable contributions, the book's emphasis on integrity really struck a chord with me.
Yeah.
You know, in a world where shortcuts and compromises can seem really tempting,
Right.
Joseph's story is a powerful reminder that staying true to our values
Yeah.
is ultimately what leads to lasting success and fulfillment.
Integrity isn't just about avoiding unethical behavior.
Yeah.
It's about actively choosing to do what's right,
Right.
even when it's difficult. It's about building a reputation for honesty,
Yeah.
trustworthiness, and reliability.
And as we've seen, those qualities are invaluable both in our personal and professional lives.
Absolutely. The book also emphasizes the importance of building the right network.
Right.
Joseph's story shows us the power of cultivating relationships
Yeah.
with people from all walks of life.
It's not just about networking with people who can help us climb the ladder.
Right.
It's about building genuine connections,
Yes.
offering support,
Right.
and being a valuable member of a community.
It's about recognizing that we all need each other
Yeah.
and that our success is often intertwined with the success of those around us.
Now, we can't talk about Joseph's story without acknowledging those incredible challenges that he faced.
You're right. He went through a lot.
He was betrayed by his family, sold into slavery,
Wow.
falsely accused, imprisoned.
He never gave up, though.
He never gave up. His story is a masterclass in resilience and adaptability.
It really is. The book encourages us to embrace those inevitable setbacks
Right.
as opportunities for growth and learning.
It's about developing that mental toughness
Yeah.
and the ability to bounce back from adversity no matter what life throws our way.
And it's about trusting that there's a purpose to our struggles,
Yeah.
even when we don't understand why we're going through something difficult.
I think that's such a powerful message. It's easy to get discouraged when things aren't going our way.
I know.
But Joseph's story reminds us that even in the darkest of times,
Right.
there's always a reason to keep moving forward.
And that brings us to the final thought I want to leave you with. Remember that question we posed earlier?
Yeah?
What's that seemingly impossible dream or
What?
vision that you have for your career?
That one that lights you up
Yeah.
and makes you feel truly alive.
Hold on to that dream, nurture it, and most importantly, take action. Even if it's just one small step today, that step can set you on a path toward achieving something truly extraordinary.
So keep diving deep, keep learning, and keep reaching for those seemingly impossible dreams.
Thank you for joining us on this deep dive into career wisdom from ancient times.
We'll see you next time.